The hollow signal. There's a stretch of highway in northern Wyoming, past the fading gas stations and shuttered motels, where radio signals go dead. No one lives along that stretch, and no one builds there. It's called Mile 34, but there's no signpost. Just a legend whispered by truckers and late-night travelers. According to them, if you're driving through Mile 34 between 2 and 3 a.m., your radio may come back to life, but not with any station you know. The broadcast will be faint at first, just static. Then the voice comes. And if you listen too long, you don't come back the same. Derek O'Brien didn't believe any of that. He was a field technician, 32 years old, practical to a fault. Skepticism was in his blood. He laughed at stories of spirits, cryptids, haunted intersections. But the Mile 34 stories intrigued him, just enough to investigate. He brought equipment, a high-frequency receiver, electromagnetic scanner, even a directional antenna rigged to his van. It was all part of a project for his podcast, Wired Doubt, which aimed to debunk paranormal myths with science. On the night of September 14th, Derek drove north with a thermos of coffee and a GoPro mounted to the dash. He reached the edge of Mile 34, just before 1:50 a.m. It looked like every other lonely strip of highway. Low hills, leaning fence posts, and endless black. He turned off his music. Silence stretched. At 2:03, the receiver crackled. He leaned closer. The scanner blinked erratically. The EMF meter jumped, then flatlined. That's when he heard it. A voice through the static. Soft, far away. "You shouldn't have come, Derek." He jolted. He hadn't spoken his name aloud. The voice didn't repeat, but the signal grew stronger. It sounded like a woman. Her tone wasn't threatening, more mournful, as if warning him, not cursing him. He isolated the frequency, 1647 kilohertz. No known station used that band. He recorded everything. Then the headlights dimmed. The van's engine stuttered. The air felt suddenly heavy, not just cold, dense. Like the atmosphere was thicker, more viscous. Shadows seemed to stretch across the road, as if cast by invisible things. The voice returned, louder now. "Derek, turn around." He felt a pressure in his skull, like a migraine blooming too fast. He grabbed the gear, stepped outside to get away from the failing electronics. A face, watching. He screamed, the voice now directly in his ears. "They can't transmit without you." And then, silence. Every device shut down, no signal, no sound. He sat there for what felt like hours. At 5:16 a.m., the van roared back to life. The stars were back. No movement, no shadows. He drove, didn't stop until he reached the next town. He reviewed the footage. Nothing. The audio was wiped. His logs were scrambled. The frequency history erased. But one file remained, only a few seconds long. A woman's whisper. You heard it. Now they're listening. Derek never published that episode. He deleted the files, burned the gear, left the podcast behind. But late at night, sometimes his radio flickers on, always at 1647 kilohertz, and somewhere, deep beneath the static, the voice still mourns.